Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am filming a minor life update. Minor. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title, I am filming a life update slash my advice on breakups. If you can't gather, or if you haven't gathered from this video, I am no longer in a long distance relationship. For this very reason is why I choose to keep my relationships private. I could not imagine going through what I have in the last few months and also having to deal with a public presence as well. To give you guys a timeline of when we broke up, it was about 3 months ago. It was about a week before I moved into this apartment. So that may kind of explain my lack of emotional stability over the last few months, and especially during that period, it was quite a rough time, to say the least. I never wanted to film this kind of video. I never thought I would be filming or letting you guys know that I am now single. But I will say first and foremost, we didn't break up because we fell out of love with each other. We broke up because of circumstance. Unfortunately, with everything going on in the world, it just weighed down on our relationship, as it has with many other relationships. He broke up with me, and it did take me by surprise, and it absolutely broke my heart. Like, I love him. I love and adore him so much. And I have nothing but good things to say about him. He truly is the most... Why am I getting so upset? I don't know why I'm getting so... Well, obviously I do know why I'm getting so upset, but I am okay. I said to myself, obviously it's been a few months, and I kept this very close to myself until I knew that I would be ready to be bombarded with the questions that I know are bound to come. But I hope that you guys can respect that. Obviously, given that I kept my relationship very private, I will be keeping my breakup very private as well. But it got to a point where I started to feel a little guilty, because I do get quite a lot of messages every day and every week from you guys asking me how my long distance relationship is going, how I'm managing to keep my long distance relationship going. And I guess I just felt a little guilty, because some of you may admire me and my efforts in maintaining a long distance relationship, and when in fact I'm not. And I didn't want to hide it anymore. And I waited until a point where I noticed when I would get messages and comments from people asking about my boyfriend, it stopped hurting, and it stopped making my chest hurt and my heart drop. That's when I knew that I would be ready to talk about it publicly to an extent. So we broke up, and it was on good terms. I have nothing but incredible things to say about him. He is truly one of the most wonderful people I've ever met, and I love and adore him, and I always will. He is the best, and I think that's just what gets me upset, is I just think about how wonderful my thoughts are of him, and that we just didn't really get a chance to make it work. Unfortunately, they've just announced a few days ago that there won't be any flights to the UK until October 2021, and that just isn't... just heartbreaking. So anyway, I'm no longer in a long distance relationship, and I am okay-ish. No, I'm okay. And so the reason why I wanted to film this video is more so to give you guys some advice, because every time I do Q&As, the number one question I get is, how do you deal with a breakup, or how do you get through a breakup, or advice for breakups? And I didn't really ever want to give advice because I'd only been through one breakup before now. And so I didn't really feel like I had the experience. I didn't really know if what I felt and what I did in the first breakup worked until I guess I could trial it again. And so now that I have experienced my second breakup and my second heartbreak, I feel like I can give you guys some advice that I hope you take with a grain of salt. What works for me may not work for you, and every circumstance and every situation is very different. But for me, the number one thing, and I still think back to when all my friends said to me, like, time, just give it time. It still makes me angry thinking about it, but time heals all wounds. And as much as I hate saying it because I hated hearing it, it is true. I sit back and I reflect on where I was at one day after the breakup and 1 week after the breakup and 1 month after the breakup, and I just think, wow, I have come so far. And it's true, time will heal all wounds. The second thing that I will say is you need to cut yourself off cold turkey. You will not start to move on, and you will not start to feel better if you keep that person in your life. I know some people like to think that they can, and maybe some people do, but for the first few months, you can't have them in your life. It's one thing that myself and my now ex, we did for the first couple of weeks, and it killed me. I was clutching onto that, and I was hanging on to him, and I did not start to move on. And as much as we did really support each other through the breakup, by speaking so frequently, pretty much every day for the first 2 weeks after the breakup. I don't think it's healthy because it put me in a bit of a state of denial on top of being long distance. It's not like I stopped seeing him every day and that was reminding me that we were broken up. Our relationship still felt pretty normal, besides no FaceTimes anymore. We were still talking pretty often, and I didn't get to see him before that anyway. So as hard as it is, I would say to mute them on social media, try and limit as much contact and as much communication as possible to help start moving on. Otherwise, you just will go round and round and round in circles, and you will set yourself up for expectations, and you'll set yourself up for more hurt and more heartbreak, and you will wish you had done it sooner in the long run. So as hard as it will be, believe me, the first day that I went without speaking to him, after going and in like 15 months of speaking every single day, it was awful. But it will get better. It will get better. I promise you that. The next thing I would recommend is surrounding yourself with friends and family. I have never been stronger and closer, and my relationships have never been stronger and closer than they are now with my friends and family. My girlfriends, they know who they are, got me through this breakup. I honestly, I would not have been able to get through it without my friends. I love them so much for everything that they've done for me. So I would highly recommend keeping yourself busy. Go socialize. Make sure you don't lock yourself away. Definitely take the time to process. Absolutely. I didn't tell anyone for nearly a week, which isn't healthy. I locked myself away in my bedroom and I just cried and didn't speak to anyone, and I would not recommend that. So surround yourself with friends and family and keep busy, but don't forget to cry when you need to cry. Don't bottle anything up. When you're feeling sad and lonely, you need to process those emotions by feeling them. You will not get through this by burying it deep down. It will come back to bite you in the ass. And don't think that like a month could pass and you're doing really, really well, and then all of a sudden it just hits you again and you get really sad and you cry and you have a meltdown. that is normal and that's okay. Like I remember I was plodding along like about a month post breakup, and I was like, wow, I'm doing okay. Like it had been 2-3 weeks and I was feeling really good and I hadn't really cried, and all of a sudden it just hit me like a ton of bricks again. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, why am I crying again? Like, and you just have to remember it's normal. Like, it will take you months to get over this breakup. Like, they are the love of your life, and like I thought I was going to marry this man, and I was meant to move overseas. I was meant to move across the world for him and start a new life. And when that gets ripped out from underneath you, like, it's going to take time to get through that and to process that, and that's okay. I just don't want you guys to do it alone. Don't bottle it up, and don't sit in silence. And also, as hard as it is when your emotions are running so high and you're so frustrated and heartbroken and sad and angry and whatever it may be, remember to try and be reasonable and patient. You have to remember, whether you think you may get back together one day, or whether you absolutely know it's never ever ever going to happen, you don't want to burn bridges. And the biggest thing that I can say is, you don't have to hate your ex. It does not have to be a complete disaster of a breakup where you both hate each other and you badmouth each other. It can be civil. And to be honest, it makes the breakup a little bit easier when you don't have to resent all the memories that you guys created together. Because when I look back at my time with him, it's all happy, and I'm so grateful that we had that time together. It would be so miserable and heartbreaking if I had to look back on those memories and resent them and be angry and feel like it was time wasted. And again, every situation is different and circumstances change everything. But for me and him, it's all happy memories. It was such a happy relationship, and we were so lucky to have loved that hard. So don't try to villainize each other if you can, because at the end of the day, like, some people go through their entire life without finding love. And just think about how lucky you are that you got to even feel love and be loved and to give love. And in along with that, like, be reasonable and be patient. Like, remember that emotions are high. You want to hate them because they hurt you, or you're trying to move on from them, or whatever it may be. Like, you need to think about everything in context, and remember that at one point you trusted them and you loved them with everything, and they were your favorite person in the entire world. So you don't immediately have to think the worst of them, and every decision they make when they start to move on, or who they're hanging out with, or what they're doing, remember that it's not ever an attack on you. Sometimes moving on can be seen as them being a bad person or throwing away the relationship or whatever it may be, but you have to do what's right for you, and you have to give what you would expect from them. You would hope that your ex is patient with you and reasonable with you and understanding, and trusts your process of moving on as much as you do that to them. Breakups are hard and they can be very messy. Being a long distance relationship, I didn't have to go through the pain of seeing them every day to nothing. I was in a long distance relationship for a year, and we saw each other twice in a year. So I didn't have to go through the pain of having them just ripped away from me. I didn't have to move my stuff out. I didn't have to watch him move his stuff out. I didn't have to worry about bumping into him. He's literally on the other side of the world. So that, in a sense, makes it easier, but it also does make it quite difficult. I could very easily slip into denial and forget that we've even broken up, especially when we were still speaking every day. It was blurring lines that I didn't realize I was blurring. But I'm so grateful that I met him. He taught me so much, and he introduced me to so much in the world. And he's probably one of the most intelligent and clever and witty people I've ever met. I do want to apologize for keeping this from you guys, but obviously I know you will all understand. Breakups are awful. I somehow managed to keep it a secret from my following on Instagram. Not a single person guessed. I guess that it does make it easy, A, because I kept it quite private, and B, he's on the other side of the world, as opposed to if he was in my stories every day and I was posting him frequently, you would catch on pretty quickly. So I guess I planned for the worst, and it has definitely paid off. So future relationships, I absolutely will be keeping them private, because not having to address it made it a lot easier. But every single time I got a message asking about my long distance relationship, it burned me. So I hope this helps if you are going through a breakup. I'm so sorry. You will get through it. Time heals all wounds. Do not forget. Time will heal and mend your broken heart. It's a hard time at the moment for any kind of relationship, whether you're in a long distance relationship or you live together. It is really trying on every single relationship right now. So please don't be too hard on yourself if you are feeling certain things right now. It is a really hard time for everyone, and relationships are really copping it at the moment. People are either breaking up or getting pregnant. So it's literally one end of the spectrum to the other. But I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm so nervous. I have severe anxiety. I'm sweating like a chimp. I hope you guys understand my secrecy and me keeping it from you for so long, but I hope it also explains a little bit of why I've been a bit up and down lately. I'm sure I've forgotten 1,000,001 things, so I will probably film another video relating to breakups and relationships and stuff like that again soon, because right now my brain is mush. I thought I would be so fine. I thought this would be so easy to film. I was so confident, and then as soon as the camera turned on, I freaked the fuck out. Anyway, I'm going to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I didn't really enjoy filming it. I didn't think I would ever film a breakup video, unfortunately. But here we are. We move on. I hope it helped any of you in some way. If you have any other breakup advice, leave it down in the comments. For anyone else that may be watching or reading, hell, it will probably still help me. Yes, that is all. Bye guys.